Hi, class. Welcome. So happy to have you in this last quarter of 2015. It's my pleasure to have you in class, and I look forward to the opportunity to share all of this really interesting information that we're going to have in this particular course. Um, we have a lot of work to do, and we only have 10 weeks to do it. It's going to take us right before the Christmas break. So try to keep up, try to keep your work together, and make the best of everything that you can. It's really important that everything get in on time. I teach a lot of classes, and I really require that the information be in when it's due and not be late. And the reason why is because it's hard to keep up and it's hard for other students to respond if your stuff isn't in on time. So everybody's should be there on time. I anticipate that you will all do that, and I anticipate that I will try to respond as quickly as I can. I tend to like to ask questions to my students. I do use a more Socratic method of teaching. And so when you write something, oftentimes I'll give you a question or two that I would like answered as a result of what you wrote. It's really important that when you do write things that you break down the question that was asked. Put the particular question that you're talking about, put the question as a heading above, and then put the response to that, the next part of it, and then the response to that separately, so that we know and you know that you've answered all of the questions that were asked of you for that particular exercise. Make sure that in your discussions that you respond to the appropriate number of students. Sometimes people don't do that, and that gets to be somewhat problematic because I do count the responses for 25% of the grade. Now, make sure that your assignments are done and in on time. They are important. Now, a couple of smaller issues, and that's that of ethics. In all of our conditions and circumstances, it's important that we are ethical as students and as faculty members, that we go ahead and give you, let you know where our information is coming from when it's coming from someone other than ourselves, and that you let us know as well. We're not really terribly interested in your opinion, as I'm sure you're not interested in mine, but we are interested in the opinion of the experts, and that's what we expect you to be giving us. So try to remember that. Remember to write when you can in third person, because third person is critical um, in this kind of an environment. Remember that this is a research-based course because it is a master's degree course, and so research is very important. And you'll notice in your syllabus that there are a whole bunch of articles that are required reading besides the textbooks. So take a look at that. What I tend to do is I tend to uh, electronically photocopy those. Usually they're pretty easy to grab by just clicking on the article, and it will open up, generally speaking, and it makes it a lot easier for you. And I happen to like things in writing. I don't necessarily like them all on a computer screen, so it's easier for me. Everybody's different, though. So whatever floats your boat is fine, but remember that you do have required reading that is outside of the book. Um, Beyond that, I'm going to ask you to take a very close look at the PowerPoint that I have given you. I talk a little bit about critical thinking. I talk a little bit about what you need to do in this particular course. I talk a little bit about what the requirements are and what some of the expectations are. But I try to give you an overview of what you're going to need in order to be successful. Plan on spending a minimum of 60 minutes to 90 minutes every night, 7 days a week, on doing work for this course, or for any course for that matter. I think if you do, I think you're going to do very, very well. Now, also, just so that you know, I tend not to give very many zeros unless somebody doesn't turn anything in, and I tend not to give 100 because that's really a perfect response, and usually there's one or two little things that might be off on anything that's done. But when you take into account that Capella's grading system is from 90 to 100 is an A, and from 80 to 89.99 is a B. That's a fairly large range, okay? So I look forward to working with you. I look forward to talking to you. I usually try to have 2 or 3 conference calls a term. Getting to that last one oftentimes is difficult because everybody gets in a panic at the end of the term. But I'd like to be able to talk to you on the phone. I love to have the students join in, and I'd love to have as many as possible. I try to do them generally on weekends if that's convenient for everybody. I can't please everyone. We might have one during the week, maybe one on the weekend, and one on at some other time. So I know you all come from different places. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so all of my phone number and all of my information to get a hold of me is listed in the expectations form. Make sure you look for it there. Also, please watch the PowerPoint that I've developed for this particular course. It'll take you 12, 13, maybe up to 15 minutes. I don't know exactly what the time is, but it's somewhere in that vicinity. And I want to wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to working with you to make this the best semester ever for you. My very best as you go through this wonderful learning experience, and we will be talking over the course of the next 10 weeks. It goes by fast. Take care and have a great day.